Shalom. Shalom. First off, we give all honors and glories to Abanawa, our Father, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachakadash. Yahushai being the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls the Messiah. You know, his true name in the Lashawan Kodash is Yahushai, which means he is the deliverer, he is the savior of the nation of Israel. All right. Starting off with the 144,000 elect men and 1/3 women and children who are destined for salvation in these last days. And a double honors to our elders at Great Millstone, to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, the men who rule well, teach well. You know, double honors to you and sincere shalom to all the Akim out there pushing his word in sincerity and in truth. All right. Salakia. Going in the spirit, man. When I try to upload videos, it takes forever to upload a video. So, sometimes I'm just left with just going on live, try to get this word out because when I try to upload the videos on the phone, it takes sometimes a whole day. So, just want to bring out this video and fair use. This is just for edification, for educational purposes. All right. The reason why we're using these videos here. All right. Now we're not gaining anything from it. We're just using what's on the internet. All right. So fair use. This is the book of Romans 2:14. And it reads, "For when the Gentiles which have not the law do by nature the things contained in the law, these having not the law are a law unto themselves." And my point being is that you so-called Mexicans, going all the way to our head tribe, you Judites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, you are the children of Israel, of the Most High, of Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai. All right, if your bloodline goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but again, I'm going to read Romans 2:14 again. "For when the Gentiles which have not the law do by nature the things contained in the law, these having not the law are a law unto themselves." All right. And my point being that you so-called Mexicans, you so-called beaners, wetbacks, spicks, whatever name they want to put on you guys, on us, or your true identity is Yasharala, Yukai, and you belong to the tribe of Yashakar, Ishakar. All right. And which means he is hired, he is hired. And my point being that, you so-called Mexicans, and you guys do a lot of the things, not even knowing that it's pretty much in the scriptures, what I'm saying? It's pretty much in the Bible, You guys hate, not even knowing it, what I'm saying? You guys do the things that shows that you so-called Mexicans are the children of the Most High. So-called, your true identity is Yashakar from Yasharala, all right, from the nation of Israel. All right, so you guys do a lot of the things that are written in the law, for example, we hate a proud look. We hate that. And that's what Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, he also hates that. We're going to bring out Proverbs 8:13. "The fear of Yahweh is to hate evil." Here's the point: "Pride and arrogancy, and the evil way and the forward mouth do I hate." and you know all that stuff that people do here in Babylon, all that mad dogging shit, all that mad dogging. Hey, what the fuck you looking at? Hey, in other countries, especially in Mexico, that shit don't slide, man. You know, that's why going back, because you know that being a man over there in Mexico, hey, you need to be a man. You need to respect everybody. You know, hey, buenas tardes. Hey, how you doing? Hey, may I use a restroom? May I do this? May I do that? Here in the Babylon, you guys have no, you guys have no type of a courtesy towards your brother. You know what I'm saying? You guys have nothing. You know, that's why in Mexico, if you go over there and you act the way you act here, these Babylonian ways, you know, we'll take a look at this video real quick, right? And here and you know, like I said, fair use. You all know who this guy is. You know, the one that I don't know who this guy is, but the the Mexican, you know, because he's an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? He's an Israelite, and I'm pretty sure you all know him. You know, he is of the world, but you know, he's just giving a little testimony on how he witnessed, you know what I'm saying, the life in Babylon and then the life in Mexico, you know, and he's gonna straight say it from his mouth, you know what I'm saying, that mad dogging, thinking and shit, you're hard here and doing all that shit don't slide in other countries. In Mexico, they don't do that. They hate a proud look over there. They hate a proud look. They hate arrogancy. You know, people who arrogante, you know, or arrogant, they hate that, bro. You know, pride, a forward mouth, you know. Proverbs 8:13, the fear of Yahweh is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil ways, and the forward mouth do I hate. All right. So here goes the video, man. Stop.
But what I'm saying is that, like that dude, Mexico is different. You can't be hard in Mexico. You out there walking around fucking giving people dirty looks, you're not gonna get nowhere. I don't care if you just did 30 years in prison in the U.S. If you intimidate somebody in Mexico, mysteriously some shit will happen to you. I started seeing more things like this. That's when I knew, like, yeah, it's a different ball game over here. You know?
And how did that make you feel that it was a different ball game?
No, I had to catch up to it and be like, not that, you know, I just have to be on the same page with it. They put you in another criminal situation.
You know, but the point being is, you know, like he said, you know, in Mexico, you know, you can't be over there mad dogging people, waving your hands to fucking, you know, hey, you want to get dealt with, you know, you get dealt with over there, man. Here, you Babylonian YNs, you know, you 2/3, you got to get away with it because you know that you have the law that will come right to your rescue. So as soon as you start getting, you know, you're all there calling 911, you know. Hey, well, in Mexico they know better. They know better to be to like the scriptures say, to be prideful, arrogant, you know, a forward mouth. As Proverbs 8:13, you know what I'm saying? And just to show that you so-called Mexicans, it's the spirit within says that you guys are the children of the Most High. You know, not having the law, you guys are the law. You guys are, let me read it before I butcher it. Again, going back to Romans 2:14, when the Gentiles which have not the law do by nature the things contained in the law, these having not the law are a law unto themselves. All right. So, you know, you so-called Mexicans, you do a lot of the things that pertain to the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Pertain to the scriptures, and you're not even knowing it. You know, you guys are have the same spirit as Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai. All right. Yeah, so you know that's my point that I want to get across. You know, is what this and you guys know who, you know, pretty much that's you know, like I said, he's pretty much in the world. He don't know the truth, but hey, he he notices that. You know, he noticed that when he went down to Mexico. You know, you got very, very, very careful how you move over there. You know, you gotta watch your P's and Q's. You know, so yeah, man, that was a quick video on that. You know, I'm just saying, hey, you know, hey, how about Shimi Awashai? You know, he hates a proud look. You know, sometimes you have to look at yourself. Hey, am I proud? Am I proud? Am I, you know, am I acting like a 2/3? Do I have any? You know what I'm saying? Hey, Yahweh Shimi Awashai. You know, the children of Yahweh Shimi Awashai. We're separate. You know what I'm saying? We notice things like that. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, you know, if we can notice it, you don't think that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai notices it? He could see when you guys are arrogant. You know what I'm saying? When you guys have a forward mouth, talking shit, or you know, hey, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai hates all that. A proud look, a person that's arrogant. You know, just he hates that. You know, we'll watch the video one more time.
I started seeing more things like this. That's when I knew, like, yeah, it's a different ball game over here. You know?
And how did that make you feel that it was a different ball game?
Salakia. You know, like I said, I'm just going into the spirit. You know, hopefully.
Yeah, but the bad thing they're saying you did it. I was like, oh man, what the fuck? I'm like, I've been gone like 2 months. Like, so he's like, you know that tweaked out fool? Like, you know how their mind works? They gluing shit together,
wow,
and masterminding shit in their own, like, they're like, it's like they're psychotic, you know. But what I'm saying is that, like, that dude, Mexico is different. You can't be hard in Mexico. You out there walking around fucking giving people dirty looks, you're not gonna get nowhere. I don't care if you just did 30 years in prison in the U.S. If you intimidate somebody in Mexico, mysteriously some shit will happen to you. I started seeing more things like this. That's when I knew, like, yeah, it's a different ball game over here. You know?
And how did that make you feel that it was a different?
You know, so hey, with that, you know, I want to give all honors and glories to our Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rachakadash. Again, I want to give a double honors to our elder apostles, elder bishops at the Great Millstone. You know, a sincere shalom to the 144,000 elect men, you know, and the 1/3 women and children who are destined for salvation in these last days. All right. And a sincere shalom to all the brethren out there pushing his word in sincerity and in truth, you know, with all fear and trembling. You know, with that, I want to say, hey, shalom.